Here it comes, Game 3, Liquid TLO versus Trickster from Pool of Play at MLG Raleigh. And yes, these replays are a tiny bit old, but it takes a while to get them through the proper distribution channels and into my hands. The players we're seeing here, of course, TLO is the red Terran, spawning on the right side of Metalopolis, and Trickster is the blue Protoss, spawning here in the close by air position at the top of Metalopolis. So they will be fighting each other for our amusement once again, and so far we have seen nothing standard so far. Just really strange stuff from both players. Both players really prefer this kind of style, and it works out for him okay. Trickster's been doing a little worse with it lately, and I think he might just have to get back to basics and just make some more aggressive timings in this, in the spirit that kind of KiwiKaki does. Considering his mechanics are, better than 99.99% of people out there. He has the mechanics to make those kinds of builds work. It just seems like he gets a little bit too cute. But TLO wants to drop his barracks here. He does. And Trickster's actually going to scout TLO first, so he'll see everything that's going on. Will not be walled out, of course. The probe is going to come over here and try to bug this SCV, forcing TLO to pull another worker to try and deal with this. And he does. Trickster has taken a late gas in every game so far. But this one's actually pretty on time, so a little earlier gas this time. May want to go into some pretty fast tech or a lot of sentries. Trickster is just working down one of these SCVs the best he possibly can. And if you're a probe, you have the luxury of being able to just run away after you've dealt some damage. And it looks like TLO wanted to switch off here as far as who's doing what. So the hurt one's going to go back to work, and this one's going to chase the probe. But now that the Marine is going to be coming out here in just a second, it should be able to deny this probe pretty easily. TLO is not scouted yet, so he's apparently pretty faithful that he's not going to get any relevant information if he goes in there right now. Cybernetics core coming down, and another weird pylon placement out of Trickster. Again, probably thinking of blocking off those Hellions that have been running into his base. The Marine is now out. Trickster's probe is just going to go ahead and sit at the watchtower. And by the way, one thing I don't see a lot of players do that works all the time is run your first probe out of there, make them think that you are just not interested in scouting anymore, and then at an awkward time when there's only one Marine standing out, run it back in, because you can oftentimes see factories or second barracks coming up, and it's totally worth that scout if your first scout didn't see very much. It's very interesting. But Trickster's Cybernetics core is now done. He's not starting Warp Gate quite yet because he didn't have the minerals, because he just took his second gas. So this looks like a pretty fast tech play out of Trickster, and we'll see if it's this. I'm actually feeling Dark Templar this game. I'm feeling really fast Dark Templar. He's obviously interested in hiding tech over here in the smoke. Smoke. Yeah. TLO's not mining gas anymore though, so this is strange. He may just go back to his Marine Hellion timings and see what he can get done with that. So this could turn into, again, another really weird game. Trickster almost has enough for his Twilight Council, if that's what he's actually going to be throwing down, which I have a sense that that's what it's going to be. But Trickster is bringing up a few units just to scout TLO's ramp and see what's going on. He's going to see that command center for sure, and he's going to see a lot of Marines. So he's not going to see any Marauders. This leaves a lot to suspicion, but the Hellion does now pop out saying, yes, there is a factory. He's going to, well, he might lose this Stalker. Okay, no, decent micro, but this Hellion can chase that Stalker all day long. So the Stalker is likely just going to die. So you can see the Hellion running it down, dealing 7 damage per shot. Stalker just turns around, tries to get a few shots on it. He's trying to do the old Boxer and Lurker trick from Starcraft 1. Both of them actually walk away with just barely any health remaining. Second Stalker comes up here, and Trickster is now at 3 gateways. There's still nothing back here, so I don't know what he wants to do. He's dropping a pylon here, showing expand. The one Hellion is still alive, unless that was a different one. Yes, it is a different one. The first one is still alive, and the second one actually did pick off that Stalker. As you can see, he does have 1 kill here. So TLO getting the most out of these really weak Hellions, pulling off a couple of SCVs to repair. You can see them. Apparently if you just poke at the wheels, that repairs it. So for all you car mechanics out there, that's how you do it. You just get a giant drill and you just stick it right in the side of there and make its health rise. Here comes a fast Ghost Academy out of TLO. 2 barracks. Tech Lab is now coming down, so he can build that Ghost. A bunker's on the way, command center. So yeah, Trickster did drop his Nexus, so this is just going to be a more standard 3-gate expand, which is the most normal thing we've seen so far in the wave expansion. So huzzah. These Hellions do just run right by the Stalkers. They turn around to fight the Stalkers, which I don't know if is really the greatest idea. He could come in here and actually scout the Nexus, which he most definitely will. There is one Stalker blocking the ramp here, so this is really the first time I've seen regularly Protoss trying to block the ramp against Terran. He's going to come up here, and he's probably going to lose one of these Hellions. No, he does get them both away. Okay, the other Stalkers are there. It's like, yeah, no, you're not getting away. There's one Hellion still hiding over here, and I don't know what he's doing. Apparently enjoying the view on top of this huge skyscraper, taking a look at this billboard here. But yeah, there's a lot of Stalkers out here for Trickster. 2 Ghosts are now on the way. Are you going to start another nuke, TLO? I think you should do it. There's no reason not to. You have almost 100 gas. 2 bunkers up here. The Stalkers try to poke up to see what they can do, but they're not going to be able to do anything. There's concussive shells coming down, stim coming down. Come on, TLO, start the nuke already. Just get it over with. Start the nuke. But no, he's just throwing down extra barracks for right now. The command center is now lifting off. TLO's units are now moving down so that they can start taking bunkers on the low ground after the previous ones are salvaged, leaving a big dent in the ground, which if you're playing golf, you'd have to fill it back up with grass. So, yeah, I don't know. I kind of just feel like sitting back and watching this game happen as if I were a fan, but that's not my job. So, my job is here to bring you guys some fun and entertaining games and explain to you kind of what's going on, but I can't offer a ton of strategic insight because what these guys are doing just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. TLO in particular has been really awkward during the series. This is the most standard I've seen either one of them play so far. Trickster's now up to 4 gates, a robotics, Forges coming down probably just for fast armor upgrades on those Zealots. You can see him, he is floating quite a bit of gas, so I don't know if he wants to take his next stage of tech, which could be Colossus tech since he already has a robotics down and no Twilight Council. I still don't know what this pylon is for. I was suspecting Dark Templar earlier, but those never came. So here comes TLO pressing out right now. These Hellions are doing a little bit of shield damage to these Stalkers, but they're not going to do a lot. TLO has quite a bit of stuff, but no real medevacs out. He does have one on the way. He's now taking both of his geysers down in his main so he can get better tech out. There's one factory scouting in to see what's going on in Trickster's base. Trickster is ahead by just a little bit, but he is supply blocked ahead in supply, that is. He is supply blocked with no pylons coming down, so he's going to be supply blocked for a little while. He now finally does drop 2 pylons, so don't worry, even pros make that kind of mistake. Here comes the nuke out of TLO, and yeah, I was just waiting for that to start. So what TLO usually does with these kinds of nukes, oh, huge battle here. Huge EMP on the sentries. You can see one of them did have enough for Guardian Shield, but there's really nothing else here. So if TLO is a little more aggressive, he is going to take out one of these gateways, and possibly the second one. But if he's a little more aggressive, he could wipe out a lot of these units right now, especially now that the Immortal is not with the party. But Trickster does see everything with his observer. TLO is healing up all of his units the best he possibly can. 4 Marauders being dropped into the main. He's just going to elevate his units into the base and force Trickster to walk up this ramp right here that really constricts his movement. The Marauders are actually just going to fall back down. One Marauder gets left behind. He's like, oh, and he gets zapped to death by this sentry. Although apparently not. I guess the Stalker stole the kill. Here comes the Robotics Bay out of Trickster. Another Immortal. 4 more gateways. So he is piling up resources quite a bit. Here's the nuke coming down out of TLO on top of Trickster. He's just going to demand this position and say, hey, if you want to fight me here, you're just going to die, and I can do basically whatever I want because I have automatic position. He's going to go right up the ramp, and he does cancel the nuke. Well in time, either that or Trickster actually killed the Ghost. So I'm not actually sure which one happened, but nevertheless, the nuke is not going to land. Trickster force fields himself out. Huge EMP all over the sentries. You can see that Trickster is just being bottlenecked into a terrible position right now. More Marauders are rallying up. They should be able to pick up the sentries pretty easily since they only have 40 health. But all the production facilities going down for Trickster. You can see TLO just being as annoying as he possibly can, buying his units time in the main to get all this stuff down. Trickster's floating 1,700 minerals right now, and it almost just looks like he's given up because a lot of these gateways are actually off cooldown, but most of his gateways are dead, and TLO is just mowing him down right now. Trickster waiting to get more reinforcements before he feels confident enough to push in here. Here comes all the probes, trying to make a nice bio sandwich. Another EMP goes down on top of these stalkers. He actually missed the immortal, but it's no big deal since he has so much stuff right now anyway. Trickster may just barely clean this up, but look how far behind he is right now. 47 to 92. There is one medevac still that has stuff in it, and this medevac can actually heal these marauders through this damage, so those 3 marauders are still being left in battle, and TLO is confident they can do a lot more damage than that, but they're finally going to die. As you can see them just fall apart there. Another marauder trying to kill probes the best he possibly can. He gets surrounded. He's dead. Killed by probes. How embarrassing is that? TLO is going to have to fall back just a little bit, but his economic lead should be enormous right now. 54 to 33. You can see he's about doubling Trickster in both gas and mineral income right now. There was I think a medevac poking in here trying to fake a drop. There wasn't anything in there. But Trickster has to rebuild all this stuff, and he has to get more probes on the field as soon as possible. And this is why it's a pain in the butt to fight TLO, because he's so smart with his little tactics that people don't really do right now with that nuke. But here's another battle. Marauder's just kiting the Zealots to death, using those force fields against him, or at least that force field. There's not more than one. TLO just goes right up the ramp, yoink, and right back into the main. Zealots are trying to catch up here, but they are slow Zealots. As we can see, charge is not researched at all. 2 more command centers on the way for TLO back at its natural, as you can see here on the minimap. These Marauders are focusing down the gateways. Trickster looks like he did cancel that. This other gateway is going to go down as well. He should cancel that one as well if he possibly can. Yep, he does cancel that. More Marauders just being elevated into the main. And yeah, Trickster's looking pretty dead here. He's just trying to scramble and build his buildings further away, but this reminds me of that campaign level where the huge fire wave is coming in to keep building stuff away from him. More probes do come off the land in order to trap these Marauders, so really nice stuff there so the Zealots can actually get some damage on them. The rest of the Marauders should be okay if they can avoid being surrounded by these probes. Nice little lift-up techniques from TLO, but the Zealots and Stalkers are slowly cleaning all this stuff up. TLO is out of energy on them, all this medevac, so this push does have an expiration date. It's just a matter of Trickster if he can put out enough stuff to deal with it. More reinforcements coming up here for TLO, and if this other Nexus goes down, that's really just going to be the nail in the coffin, which it definitely will. These probes are trying their best to help the Stalkers fight, but Trickster just basically has no income right now. 260 minerals per minute. It's falling all the way down to below 200, and that's really bad. Look at TLO distance mining right next to Trickster's pylon, so Trickster can see all this stuff going on. TLO is just going to continue to press his advantages and continue to wear Trickster down more and more and more. Trickster's probably just trying his best just to show that, hey, your victories weren't so easy, I'm pretty good too. But TLO is just really smashing him down. Good game. The mules land. TLO stays in the game longer so he can kill more stuff. But yeah, very interesting game there from both players. And yeah, I feel like I got barely any chance to really analyze what these guys were doing because it was just constant aggression, really weird stuff out of both players. What I really liked and what I hope to see more is just demanding position with nukes. TLO dropped a nuke right here, and Trickster had to run away from his ramp, so TLO just went, okay, I'll just walk right in. And if Trickster follows him, that nuke's going to detonate and blow up everything if he tries to follow him up there. So it just basically means that anywhere in this area is TLO's, and he can not take damage in it, and he can completely control the surroundings around it. So that's the kind of stuff I really want to see more out of Terran, is utilizing tricks like that. Or they're not even really tricks, they're just zoning tools. And it's kind of still early in StarCraft's life, so that people will hopefully start understanding that a little more. But yeah, interesting game, interesting set of games there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll be back for more casts, a few more tutorials and stuff here in the coming weeks to help everybody get better at the game, of course, because being better is a lot better than being worse. And there's a lot of SCVs mining these patches that are almost gone. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.